All right, let's take you to the memorial service of Zolani Tete, Ngcumbe City. We're finding Sisipho Ngcumbe, who is on standby there for us. Sisipho, good evening to you, and thank you so much for your time. So yesterday we saw one memorial service, and here we are. So who's organized today's one, and who's in attendance?
Well, a very good evening to you, Bungi, and a good evening to the viewers at home as well. While we are actually in Ngcumbe today, which is a couple of hours away from Ngcumbe City, but of course it is still the Eastern Cape. And in New Brighton specifically is where we are, outside the Nangoza Jebe Hall, which is where a lot of the boxing events would take place inside this hall behind me. Understanding, of course, that Tete himself fought here, or actually took place in some of the matches that actually occurred here, and was also a big part of the boxing fraternity, the boxing community here in Ngcumbe as well, or in the Eastern Cape at large. Of course, now I am joined now by the event coordinator, former boxer Udada Uluvuyo Olifant. Dada Uluvuyo, thank you so much for your time. Let's start, Dada, with just saying, of course, my condolences to anyone who knew Zolani and loved him. Of course, the horrific murder has sent shockwaves throughout the country. But now, when we talk about Zolani, to someone like me who never had the privilege of meeting him, can you talk to us about the person that he was and why it's so important to honor his legacy?
Thank you very much, and thank you to your viewers around SA and in the Eastern Cape at large. Really, we saw it fitting today that we celebrate the life of Zolani Tete. Zolani, one thing about him that he showed us is a discipline. He was a disciplined boxer. He was a very talented boxer. And we were still looking at him to bring more of the titles that he was holding, and in other federations, to fight also in other federations like IBF and the WBAs, bringing it here in the soil of Eastern Cape. So we saw it, fitting that we bring it here at Centenary Hall, giving the people of Port Elizabeth, the Nelson Mandela Metro, boxing-loving people, to come together and convey a message of condolences to the family of Tete and the people of Eastern Cape at large.
And then talk to us about seeing Zolani when he was here. Talk to us about the legacy that he leaves behind for the young people, the young youth, especially in the townships, who are coming up and maybe look towards sport or anything to help them, to alleviate the situations they find themselves in.
We look, for us, a boxer like Zolani is living, a legacy that nobody would ever be able to dilute. And for our young boxers, we wish and we are going to work hard to make sure that we produce another Zolani. There is talent. Zolani was made here in the Eastern Cape, in this hall. Here in Centenary, he fought some of his fights here. And his opponents, they are from this part of Eastern Cape, here in the Nelson Mandela Metro. So we did not want to say when Zolani, this type of mishap happened to him, and we say we will no longer be able to produce another Zolani. We are going to produce another Zolani. There is a talent in the Eastern Cape. And this legacy is not going to stop. It's going to continue forever because he was good. No boxer can match Zolani in the Eastern Cape and in the world, not only in the East, and in the world. We are saying as boxing-loving people must work hard. Trainers must work hard. Managers must work hard. Promoters of boxing must work hard to ensure that they are producing another Zolani.
Mr. Olifant, thank you so much for your time. That was the coordinator of the memorial service that will be taking place here in Ngcumbe, who was just talking about, of course, the importance of the legacy that the champ leaves behind, not only stretching throughout Ngcumbe City, where he was home, or where his home was in Mdantsane, but looking at townships throughout the Eastern Cape, understanding, of course, that in New Brighton and areas like KwaNobuhle, young talent is still springing up, and many of those looking towards champs like Zolani Tete as an inspiration. So therefore, they felt that it was important for them to come here together as the boxing community to honor the life and the champ that was Zolani Tete.
Appreciate your time, and we'll continue then to monitor the story through your eyes. Thank you so much for that. That's Sisipho Ngcumbe there, live for us in New Brighton, that is in Ngcumbe, and that memorial service there. You heard the boxing fraternity really shocked, but also saying that now they are trying to make sure that they do unearth yet another talent of Zolani Tete's caliber.